in Sandton, Johannesburg, and broadcast on the World of Champions Supersport in association with these fine sponsors: Timbers 12, World Sports Betting, Bet for the Best, JCP Steel, HP, and the Little Tuscany Boutique Hotel. We'll be going live for Fight Night on Saturday the 21st of June at 7 p.m. on Supersport, the World of Champions, Channel 209, where we'll be experiencing a thrilling card with eight bouts, sanctioned by Boxing South Africa, with a co-main event between Kane Fourie and Sifiso Hlongwane, and the main event of the evening, a 10-round international bout for the IBO All-Africa title between South Africa's Boyd Allen and Botswana's Kagiso Bagwasi. Before we introduce the fighters, I'd like to introduce on stage with me the CEO of Boxing South Africa, Ndate Tulufelo Lejaka. Please join me on stage, sir. It gives me great pleasure as well to welcome the WBC Featherweight World Champion and the Gorilla Boxing Promotions Ambassador, Kevin to the arena. As well as from World Sports Betting, Bet to the Best, please welcome Nick. Nick, are you here? Here comes Nick. Let's give him a big round of applause as well. And our representative from Timbers World Group, Ashley. And last but not least, from HP, Mark Pina. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the second edition of what's already proving to be one of the most exciting platforms on the African boxing continent. The first tournament was a massive success, thanks to Kevin, the champion. And this time it's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and it's going to be bolder. Let's get straight to the business. Kevin, we're going to go straight to you, the world champion and the driving force behind the tournament. Kevin, let's talk about the very, very first tournament. Absolute success. We're reeling right now because, you know, we're looking forward to the next one. But tell us, what made the first one really, really special for you?
I guess, you know, it's your first one, and it's your first since inception. It always means a lot because this is what you set out to do, is provide a platform for young fighters, experienced fighters, mature fighters to showcase their talent. So as I said, something that was a conversation in November 2024 came to light in March 2025, and yeah, we're here for the second one. As I set out to do, myself and Geraldine and the Aquila Boxing Promotions team, we have a very small team, but it's an effective team. You know, our PR, our media, everything, our matchmaker, everything's on point. Our fund, valuable sponsors, it wouldn't be possible without them. World Sports Betting, Tigris Wealth, JCB Steel, HP, just to name a few of the brands that get behind us. And this is essentially what you need to do in order to grow the sport, because a lot of people talk about growing the sport, and I said this before the first event, the only way you grow the sport is provide a platform for fighters to fight. Otherwise, it's banana and there's no real growth.
All right, so let's talk about ticket sales. We sold out the first one. Looks like we sold out the second one as well.
We overpacked, to be honest. Trying to figure out a way to get an extra 50 on the jock approval, but it's not a bad problem to have. You know, it's a great venue in an upmarket Sandton, and this is where you want to be for boxing. You know, it's great for people not far to travel, and yet again, the fighters are going to have an opportunity on your World of Champions Supersport. We're proud to be partnered and aligned with Supersport, and hopefully the fighters realize, you know, I've sat in their shoes, I've been in their positions, you know, guys have come up through the ranks, guys who are at the top of the ranks. It's a true privilege to fight on national TV across the sub-Saharan Africa, because essentially that's what sponsors want. Sponsors want to back a horse that gets seen and gets noticed, and there's no better way to be noticed other than Supersport.
In front of a full crowd as well on the house. I think that deserves a big round of applause, certainly. Okay, so last one, it's really difficult to say how you're going to get better than, for the last one, you know, than the last one. But what are fans expecting for Fistic Havoc? And maybe also tell us what's behind the name Fistic Havoc?
just came to mind. So when myself and one of the ladies in our team were thinking what we're going to call the next event, I thought, well, the first one was the Storm.
Yes.
We don't want to go the Cyclone because that's a bit boring and on the same line. So I was like, Fist, Havoc, Knockouts, Fistic, Havoc. So it came to mind and it sticks pretty well. You know, then we got the 1st of August Friday night fights. And what can we expect? Fireworks, absolute fireworks. You know, these fighters, each and every single matchup's a competitive matchup, and the fighters have an opportunity. So I urge all fighters that have the opportunity to fight to give it their all, because it might not be the last time you give it your all on an Aquila Boxing Promotions platform. We're out there to give fighters opportunity, and if fighters show up, discipline, and do the business, they will get a chance again. So yeah, you can expect an exciting night. The first one was great, this one will be even better.
I think, you know what, taking a look at your banner just behind you, you've got some real heavy hitters, especially with World Sports Betting. Nick is right next to you over there. Perhaps just introduce Nick, and then we'll go over to him. And actually, no, let's introduce yourself, Nick. Tell us where you're from.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Nick Moyo, sponsorship manager from World Sports Betting.
All right, Nick. Well, it's an absolute honor having you here. You were with us on board for the Storm. You're back here again. What message does that send to the people out there in terms of the relationship with World Sports Betting and Aquila?
No, certainly. For us, we were quite excited to be part of this once again. I think it's great to bring boxing to the every boxing fan in South Africa. Such a national treasured sport, so we're glad that we will be part of this, creating that community impact and being able to be part of showcasing some of South Africa's best talent out there.
Looking in the crowd and some of the boxers, are you familiar with the boxers?
Yeah, some of them definitely are.
Any of your favorites here in the crowd?
I won't say, but
you're not allowed to say you're from World Sports Betting. What's that?
I said certainly not.
Yes, of course. Okay, well, going on over to Ashley. Ashley, welcome. Always good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Ashley from Tigris Wealth. Welcome again. You're back. We're back for the second one. We did the Storm, and you're back again. Anything that you want to say in support of Aquila Boxing Promotions?
Yeah, we're very excited from Tigris Wealth point of view, like relationship with Kev and supporting his career and supporting him in a personal capacity. And boxing, Fistic art. It's going to be a Fistic affair, and I think it's fair to say that boxing in South Africa is alive, and it's a start of a revival. And we're really excited about it. To see what happened with Kev's fight at Sunbed Arena was spectacular. What Diamond Mostert and the team did in that event was great. So yeah, we had to support Kev, support Aquila Boxing, and let's see the revival in South Africa as boxing revives.
No, certainly, thank you so much. And it's always great having you and your team on board. I know you're not a stranger to the boxing world anymore. Everywhere we go, we see you. So it's really cool. Moving on to HP, Mark Pinar. Mark, thank you for joining us, representing HP. Mark, I believe Kevin, I believe this is the first time they're on board with us. Second time. I beg your pardon, Mark. But thank you so much for joining us. Anything that you'd like to say with regards to the promotion and what you're expecting with this on the 21st of June?
Yeah, thank you. I think firstly it's such an honor to be in this room. It's an honor to back Kevin, it's an honor to back Aquila Boxing Promotions. We're sitting in a room full of giants and warriors and just masters of their trade and masters of boxing. So it's very lucky to be here, and then to be expected. I think you said it, it's fireworks. We have warriors and we have big fighters here, big headline fights, and super excited to be there and just humbled and privileged to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark from HP. Welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of Boxing South Africa. Always good to see you here. Always good to have your support. We know that you are busy, but now we've got a big one coming up ahead of us on the 21st. Will you be there on the day?
Okay, no, thank you very much, Mark, Nick, Ashley, Kevin, and G. It's a tough question to answer on day one, activity one, after you've just been employed. Literally, this is my first item on my diary after I got appointed. So I'm still new, I'm a novice, I'm still a little shy, shaky.
I think congratulations are in order.
I was wondering when the funds will arrive. Yeah. No, but check, I couldn't have arrived on a better day than this. Kevin has sat with us and gave us his plans. And he has a roadmap. And I think there's one thing that I need to clear, because sometimes when you don't talk about these things, people think that there's preference or laws are just being disregarded. Our law is prohibitive. It disallows boxers to start planning for retirement while they're still at their prime. Because you can't be a boxer and a promoter.
Right.
But he had a solution and he circumvented that. So if you are sitting at home and say, no, they are friends, that's why they're doing favors for each other. Relax. This has been taken care of, can be audited, it's solid. Because ultimately, what is the big prize? The big prize is if you've got a brand in the like of Kevin, with this type of brains, initiatives, facilitate them, enable them. That's my job. That's what pays my bill, to make sure that these opportunities are created. So we've already spoken in depth about what this means, and I will not get to that part. But what is the duty of Boxing South Africa? The duty is to support, is to enable, is to ensure that this is extended beyond. So it's quite a big privilege and an honor to be here. And I can assure you, we will be there again at the tournament, because the first one I missed. But you see, then I was still tentative. I was not sure if I'm in or out. Now I know I'm in, so I definitely will be there. Thanks.
It will be an absolute honor to have you there. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. CEO of Boxing South Africa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be introducing the fighters soon, but before we do that, can we get a group picture, please, with all our sponsors and our head of Boxing South Africa? Honor of introducing the boxers, introducing first on stage and kicking off with the heavyweights. Please welcome Renee Chimanga and Amedo Ekala.
Killer beats, put the sauce on it.
When in the street we try to conquer. Life is sweet like sugar. Eat your color, I eat my apple, I eat them well. For myself, I'm doing better. Life is short to be feeling down. I be alaga. Yeah, me see the thank God, say God no be man, no.
So obviously Renee's not here, his team are running late, and this is just a prime example of where boxers and individuals need to shine up. 11:30 is 11:30, and that's what it takes to be a champion, and if you can't be on time, you'll never be a champion. So thank you to his opponent for being on time, and for those who are on time, we appreciate it. We know that there's traffic and there's everything that plays a role. However, prior preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance, so hopefully everyone take a note out of this, and 11:30 is 11:30. And we don't wait for nobody. Renee Chimanga helped me with sparring. He asked me for an opportunity. I provided him with a gap. He takes on Undercard, who's a tough opponent. 2 fights, 1 win, 1 loss. And we're looking forward to the matchup. You know, we want the exciting heavyweight bombs to be thrown, and that's what we're doing. It was about providing an opportunity for somebody who assisted me in sparring, asked to put me on the card. We put him on the card. We facilitated a matchup. That's what it's about: relationship building and providing people with opportunity.
Kevin, it's quite a start to start with the heavyweights already. Obviously, you know, we're always excited to see the heavyweights, like you said, expecting some heavy action. What was the motivation behind that?
Yeah, we want exciting fights, exciting matchups. It's no secret that in our meetings and in our feedback and our comms with Supersport, we want to drive content and drive viewership. And how do you drive content and viewership? Is making explosive matchups where there's absolutely no script. We've seen it before on our previous Aquila show. Zero script. The script can be ripped up, and that's essentially what we want. We don't want people to go, these are all your odds-ons, and these are your outsiders. We want it to be close. So matchups where people go, it's 50-50, this is going to be close. And you start with the heavyweights, because we know heavyweights can bang. Over and out, we want an explosive first fight, and let's start the card with 2 heavyweights. I've made it clear. Hopefully Amador hears what I'm saying. Go for it, leave it all on the line, and let's have an explosive first matchup.
Yeah, we're looking forward to a very action-filled one. Let's go over straight to Amedo Ekala. Amedo, you are 1-on-1, obviously looking to raise your hand for the W on the 21st of June. How are you feeling, and how's your preparation going towards that?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to everyone here. Thank you to the management and the promoters, everybody that's made these things happen. I would like to say thank you again, because without this, our dream can't go through. So I would like to say I'm well prepared for you all. I come all the way to the Congo to here. I arrived here last Tuesday. then yeah, to give whatever I had. So it is what it is. I'm ready for whatever.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our featherweight debutants, Sabelo Ndandwe and Sean Nkuna.
Killer beats, put the sauce on it.
When in the street we try to conquer. Life is sweet like sugar. Eat your color, I eat my ember, I eat my ember, I eat them well. For myself, I'm doing better. Life is short to be feeling down. I'm be late, I be.
Managers, please do join us on stage as well. All right, welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on stage. Kevin, let's go straight to you as a promoter. We've got two standout debutants coming up through the programs. Why pair them up right now?
We want good matchups. You know, at the end of the day, both of these guys are credible amateurs. You've got Sean Nkuna, if I'm not mistaken, he's a national amateur champion. He's paid his dues in the amateur ranks, as well as Sabelo Ndandwe, who comes from the Western Cape champion. And I've seen Sabelo spar. I must be honest, I've never seen Sean spar, but I've heard only good things about him. And it's probably a matchup when you say to yourself, you know, they're meeting very early on in their careers. But at the end of the day, essentially, there's either going to be a winner, a loser, or a draw, which, you know, is not always likely. But at the end of the day, it's a positive and a quality matchup. Two good fighters going at it. We need to realize, and I think from an Aquila Boxing Promotions point of view, we don't have a feeder gym. We don't have a stable of fighters as per se. We look across the landscape to diversify fighters from Africa, fighters from South Africa, fighters from other gyms to put on good matchups. And this is a prime example. You've got two guys in their debut fights, a national champion, a credible Western Cape champion. I've seen him spar. He's got a lot of heart, a lot of grit. I've heard a lot about, I've seen Sabelo spar. He's got a lot of heart, a lot of grit. I've heard a lot about Sean. So this is a prime example of giving two young fighters an opportunity on a great platform. I mean, it's no secret. It sounds like I keep saying it. Here is the opportunity. This is what we're doing in the sport, and a terrific matchup. And you know, a lot of people say, well, there won't be a loser. There will be a loser. If somebody loses, there will be a loser. But hopefully they can resurrect themselves, re-erect their careers, and move on forward, because I know the potential of both these fighters.
Let's speak to Sabelo real quick. Sabelo, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm sure this is a very, very big opportunity for you, and we feel like that as well. Next to you is the WBC Bridgerweight champion, who is also the person who signed you onto the tournament, onto the card. How does that feel for you?
I'm feeling great. Thank you for everyone to be here, and thank you for Kevin to give me a chance to fight.
Sabelo, he speaks very, very highly of you. How do you think the fight is going to end on the night?
The fight is going to be great. It's a good fight.
Knockouts or the distance, do you think?
I don't talk too much.
All right, thank you so much, Sabelo, ladies and gentlemen. Sean, over to you. Thank you so much. Your opponent is a man of few words. What is your fight prediction?
My prediction? It's going to be a great fight. And I will frustrate him. That's the only thing.
Are you looking to finish it early or go the distance with him?
I will frustrate him. That's the only thing I will say.
And of course you want to get the W.
Definitely. He knows I will win.
Yeah.
He knows.
Anything you want to say to that, Sabelo? He says you know that he's going to win. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a face-off real quick between the gentlemen.
Killer beats, put the sauce on it.
When in the street we try to conquer. Life is sweet like sugar. Eat your color, I eat my ember, I eat my ember, I eat them well. For myself, I'm doing better. Life is short to be feeling down. I'm be late, I be alaga.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next, bout number 3, a battle between the undefeated featherweights. Please welcome Luke Hendricks versus Sabelo Nkwana. ladies and gentlemen, let's go straight to the promoter. Kevin, question for you. You know, it's been we're expecting lots of fireworks. Tabelo called Luke out on social media, and you made the fight happen. But what made you say yes? I mean, it's looking at fighting these days. Guys call each other out. You just don't know if it's gonna, you know, it's gonna happen. If it's gonna be fireworks. But this time you did say yes. It's something special and something different as well.
Yeah, obviously Luke Hendricks. He's 3-0. He's undefeated. And his last fight, I think, I don't think it was a true reflection of him in a sense of, you know, I believe we can see a better Luke. So it's just giving the guy another opportunity, just one more chance, you know, to prove himself and to show that he can go on. But in front of him, you got Tabelo, who's a tough competitor. He called him out on social media, and I wouldn't say it's a grudge match as per se, because both fighters are relatively early on in their careers. This is just a match of saying, I want to fight you. And Luke countered and said, no problem, sign the contract. And he did. So credit to Luke Hendricks as well as Tabelo for making the fight. Luke's 3-0, if I'm not mistaken. Tabelo's 1-0. So it's a prime example of two guys undefeated going at each other. And I think, if you know, Luke, he comes with the crowd, you know, the Apex Army. And credit to every single individual at Apex, Boyd Allen's gym, Alicia, the entire gym. They're absolutely phenomenal. The way they get behind their fighters and support their fighters is exemplary and a true example. Other gyms can learn a lot from the Apex gym and how to support their fighters and how to get behind their fighters, their leaders and their young fighters. And Luke's a young fighter from the gym who's got another opportunity. And I must be honest, the first fight, I don't mince my words, I thought it was very close. I thought it was, he might have edged it, could have been a draw. So I'd like to see more from Luke. I really would, and I think if we see more from him, he's nice, he's strong, he's stocky, he's explosive. I want to see something exciting. Having said that, he's got Tabelo on the other side of the ring who wants to spoil those plans. So, good matchup. Let's see who wins on Saturday night.
Okay, so we've heard it from the promoter, but we want to hear it from the horse's mouth himself. Tabelo, you called out Luke, and of course, like Kevin says, it's still very early in your pro career. But what did you see in Luke that you felt the need to call him out? Was it something that you felt, nah, dude, I can take this guy on, there's nothing over here? Or was it something out of respect and just saying, he's somebody I need to get over early in my career?
Yes, first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone for coming, and thank you for Kevin and the Killer Boxing Promotion for giving me this opportunity. So technically, like I said, I know the guy for 2 years, and me and the others have been escorting my friends to white collars at Apex. And I saw like, I think I can take on this guy. So I'm just like, okay, I turned pro this year. I had my first fight back in the country. And now after I saw his fight on March, I saw like, nah, there's a lot of games and I really feel like I can take on this guy. And that's what I did. I called out and I had a lot of reaction on the video. But the more hate, the more hunger I become. Definitely.
The more hate, the more hunger. Let's go. All right. Okay, Luke, over to you. First of all, what's Kevin's sentiments about your first performance? He thought it was close, but he does think that, clearly from what he says, he believes so much in you. First of all, what do you have to say about that? And then secondly, how do you feel about your call out?
Firstly, just want to say thank you to Kevin, once again, to all the guys on this banner for putting this together and getting us out this opportunity. Also thanks to the team back at Apex, all our coaches, all the people that are there. What Kevin said, nothing bad, didn't say anything bad at all. You've got to take everything, criticism with the open hearts, open ears. And just to give the fans a background, I know Tabelo, I know his coaches, I know everyone there at the gym. So my question is to Tabelo, do you trust your team, do you trust everyone that's around you?
Definitely. I hope that you do too.
Okay, cool.
All right, gentlemen. Can we have a face-off, please?
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, see on my.
You can stay on stage. All right, we're going on over to the man that looks like a superstar all the time and always, Leo Kareri versus Obin Ndala. Obin, we're going to start with you. If you could get the mic to Obin. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we're going to go straight to Kevin, actually. Kevin, very, very exciting fight. Sorry about that. Very, very exciting fight. We've got Leo Kareri and we've got Obin. What inspired the matchup, especially with Leo over here?
Yes, obviously it's no secret. Leo's a terrific talent. He's very exciting. But respect to Obin, for stepping in. We had an opponent pull out, I think it was last week due to injury. Kongolo Chamanga sent a doctor's letter. He's injured, he's unable to participate. So credit to our matchmaker ABs for rallying together to make the fight happen. And thank you to you for taking the fight on short notice. I think a lot of fighters who are sitting in this room know, or it's happened to them, that fights have fallen through due to opponents pulling out or due to other reasons we're all familiar of tournaments not taking place. So credit to Obin and to Leo for accepting the fight on short notice. So Leo's an exciting talent. Obin's proven to be tough in his previous fights. I've watched some of his fights, but Leo's explosive. So let's see what's going to happen on Saturday night.
Over to Obin. Obin, you came in short notice. Obviously, you know who your opponent is. How's preparations been? It's been short time, but how's preparations been? Have you been feeling good leading up to this and leading up to being signed for Fistic Havoc?
Yes, I say thank you to everybody. Thank you to Kevin Arena. And then it's not my first time to take short notice. It's my first fight in South Africa. It was short notice 3 days, and then I go to win the fight. I will show my best in the ring. I know Leo, I know you, bro. I will show you in the ring. The best. Yes.
All right. So he says he's the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Leo, the chosen one, Kareri. Always good to have you on stage, Leo. Always a beast on the mic, and you're looking good, my man. Thank you so much. Let's give this young man a round of applause. He puts in the effort, you know what I'm saying? He does put in the effort, and he looks like the superstar that he says he's going to be. Leo, you heard what the gentleman did have to say about you, Mr. Obin Ndala. You're 1-0 now. Obviously, I won't lie. When you get on the mic, you talk a big game. You did prove it on your first fight. How do you feel about it now? And him saying that he knows you and he's the best.
The only reason he knows me is because I knocked his opponent. I know his opponent. What is it? His teammate. They knocked him out.
Nice one. No problem. Thank you.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say? Fight predictions.
Well, they put some proper pants on. Really sweet pants on.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have a quick. I know the guys are playing around with each other. We'll see them actually on the way in. But let's have a very, very first face-off, please.
You better move. You might get knocked out. My heart on my sleeve. Stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no given. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. Plus a family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect. Let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the housing. Woo! Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Woo!
We're going to open the floor now for a few questions from the media. So we do have a few floating mics. Let's open the floor. Anybody? Okay, let's give you the mic first of all.
I just want to ask Mr. Lajaka. He's new in the job, but it's round 2. We had a boxing tournament yesterday afternoon. Once again, the judging was poor. It's no use having a promoter putting on a wonderful spread like this, where the show could maybe be ruined by poor judging. When is this going to be sorted out? We always hear, we're working on it. I think now's the time. We need to have a specific timeline. When is this going to get sorted out?
Thanks. Hey, I thought the show was going to stick with the athletes, but it's bear with me. No, thanks, Brian. I know this is something very passionate, close to your heart. You've raised it a few times. last evening I got a message from Howard Goldbeck, late in the evening, said, "My man, please, ring officiating. What are we going to do about it and what are the timelines?" There's a multiplicity of things that we need to do. One, there is a basket of complaints from the ring officials themselves about their conditions of service. I know that you know that the minister has made a commitment about us improving their earnings, something that is definitely being attended to. Money is going to need to flow into that basket from two streams. One is from the government side and another one is from the promoters. We have a meeting with the promoters on Thursday, which will then in the next week be with all promoters. So that's one thing to attend to that. The uniforms and the what, I think you know about it, you've seen that. Two, there's a governance arrangement that we need to do, we haven't done that. The grading systems of the referees, the officials, but also the review. So the review does happen, but the complaint is the punitive measures against those that officiate wrongly. The third and the most important is our own duty. If you look at the act properly, we are supposed to be training ring officials on an annual basis. We haven't done that. We have to do it. What you are asking me is a simple thing. When are the timelines? Before September, we would have started with those sessions. Will that do away with the problem? Not in the immediate, but when people know that there is punishment and there is consequences, management for misconduct, improvement will come. So I can assure you, hold me accountable to that, but before September, we would have had them, all of them on one platform to start working on that, because it deprives boxers of an opportunity they deserve when the judgment goes the other way. Thanks.
I just want to speak to Kane.
He's gonna come up. No, he's gonna come up just now.
Okay.
All right, cool. So first Kane when he comes up. Any more questions? Any other questions from the floor?
Good afternoon, Supervisor Maria from the ANC. Kevin, we speak a lot about reviving boxing in South Africa and bringing boxing back to its former glory days. Are we expecting to see these kind of tournaments in other provinces as well in the near future? Thank you.
It's a good question. We'd love to expand our wings, but like I said, I said it in an interview on SA Boxing Talk, like a fighter, like a human being, like a promotion, you need to be born, you need to sit, you need to crawl, you need to walk, then run. I think a lot of promoters fail because they try to do too much too quick. I think the way we're trying to do it, it's slowly but surely upscale, and eventually spread our wings to other provinces. It would be great to promote in other provinces and take nice tournaments to other provinces to provide those fighters with opportunity. I just think we need to, I wouldn't say we need to perfect, because perfect is a relative term, but we're still within our group of Aquila Boxing Promotions, we have teething issues, we're still learning on the job, so it would be irresponsible for us to spread our wings if we haven't perfected our home setup. We're not far off, I think we're doing okay. It would be great. We only do 4 shows a year, so hopefully in the new year, we'll be able to spread our wings and do maybe at least commit to 1 show in another province. So very good question and something we would like to do, but like I said, we're also in a growing phase, so yeah.
Alright, I think that's it for questions from the segment. Thank you, gentlemen. You may exit the stage. Number 6, bout number 5, an undefeated featherweight bout. Well, we have an undefeated featherweight fighter with 6 wins and looking to keep a slate clean. Lindo Kuzwayo versus opponent with a pro fight record of 16-7.
Man, perfect, let them watch me elevating, got them nauseous, cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit, nose diving in the house and woo. Watch out, get ahead, watch out, get ahead, watch out, get ahead. Woo. Watch out, set it up, bet you I shut it down, watch out, get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner, got a finger run up in on a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare to my line, but the winner about the cage. I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is.
This international bantamweight bout between undefeated Disento Matiginga versus Defu Detekwane from Botswana.
Look, tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man. I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got
so much for joining us. Just a quick note, once you guys do face off, please do face off and then face the cameras, okay? We're just gonna ask for a few seconds after you face off, face the cameras. All right, let's go straight to our promoter, Kevin. Tisetso has been sparring with world champ, Kafu, which means, you know, his preparation has been going quite well. How do you rate him at the moment?
I think it's probably a bold statement, but probably one of the, if not the best prospect we have in our country. And watching him spar with a world champion like Kafu shows how good he is and how he's ready to elevate his level. Having said that, I think his handlers and Sean and his trainer, they know that, you know, you've got to progress in the sport slowly to reach a divine height that you want to achieve. But I think Tisetso Matikinka can go all the way. I've watched him spar. He's a southpaw. He's phenomenal. Seen a lot of sparring in gyms. He's got it all. He's got the feet, counter puncher, the looks. So it would be really nice to see him go on to become a world champion. Probably a bold statement because we all know boxing, the script can be ripped up, but I think this script definitely says future world champion based on what I see.
Tisetso is currently 7-0. Let's just give a big round of applause. Tisetso is currently 7-0 and he's fighting a Defo, one from Botswana. He'll be coming through on Thursday, like you said. He's 8-3. Looking at matching them up, could this possibly pose a risk for Tisetso?
Listen, every fight's a risk. Every fight is dangerous. He was meant to fight another undefeated fighter, Mpolokeng, who was 5-0, but he had to pull out due to personal reasons. So this was another late replacement from about 3 weeks ago. He's had 8 wins, 3 losses. Can't take any fight or anybody for granted. Having said that, I'm expecting Tisetso to win in terrific fashion, and then Sean will have to see what he wants to do with him next. But you know, it's very hard to get this guy fights because our matchmaker literally said to me, "Champ," when they phone, they say no. So that's a clear example. You know, a lot of South African fighters don't say no because fights are hard to find and are few and far between. But when you call for Tisetso Matikinka, they say no. We're not fighting. So that's your example, that's your answer, and that should answer everybody. He's a terrific talent, and I think he gets an opportunity on Supersport again. So hopefully he grabs it with both hands. But across him is a guy who's whippy from what I've seen, throws a nice long right hand, but a long right hand is a southpaw's dream.
Well, kudos to Defo for taking that fight, considering he's fighting somebody who's always been run away from. But let's go on to Coach Smith. Sean Smith, welcome. Champion coach, always good to have you on stage. You've got an amazing looking fighter over there. But what does this platform mean for your fighters? It's not the first time that we've had them on Aquila Boxing Promotions, but also on some very, very big stages this year. And you know, I think looking at the numbers, your fighters have taken the bulk of the fights because you've got such great fighters.
Yeah, just good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to say to Aquila Promotions again for stepping up and delivering. You know, I think everybody looks and goes, what's next? That we are again is a huge milestone, just to step up and do it again. So guys want to see you like all over the country and the land, just to step up here and do it again, time after time. We're behind you. So I think everyone, well done. Let's have a round of applause for and I think we need to stick behind them. Everyone you know, everybody you know, it's right in town. Support wherever you can, because these are the platforms that help to keep the sport alive. So thank you, well done. Well done to the CEO, finally CEO of BSA. Those are big shoes to fill. You've done it before, and we look up to your leadership to lead the sport into a better place. So well done and congratulations on your post. And yeah, like I said, Tisetso, I mean, there's no surprise, you know, when I look like for boxers, I don't look for boxers who are looking to fill up a card. My duty is to scout top talent. So I think luckily I've got a good eye for it, and I'm blessed enough to work with the best. So no, you know, like, so thankfully we get another opportunity to perform under the bright lights. And like I say, in the gym, great, that means nothing. It helps. You want to look good in the gym, but ultimately, when the bright lights are on, my job is to make sure that what you're seeing in the gym is happening in the ring time after time again. So luckily for these opportunities, just for him to solidify himself, that he can go on to international arenas to do what he can do under the bright lights. I think it's a step by step. Never get ahead of ourselves. Never think you do too big for the sport. This is a humbling game that we're honored to be and step up under the bright lights. He needs to do it in the gym, out the gym, under the bright lights, week in, week out. Hopefully we'll have something very special at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Coach Smith. Fight number 6 is Lindo Kuzwayo. He's undefeated with 6 fights versus Jeff Makakane. Kevin, we've got a question for you real quick. How do you rate this matchup, and what does it mean for both men?
Yeah, I think you got youth versus experience. Lindo Kuzwayo, once again, you know, I've seen him in the gym. He's hell of an explosive, charismatic. But Jeff Makakane brings in a lot of experience. You know, he's been a champion before. He's beaten champions. So it's another terrific crossroads matchup of youth versus experience. And to be fair, Jeff walked into the gym, I'd say about two and a half months ago to come say hello. And I hadn't seen him for many, many years. You know, the last time I probably saw Jeff was 2013 or 14 when he was at the Smith's gym in Cedar. And he said to me, Kevin, you know, I'm back fighting. So if you've got an opportunity for me, please. And it sits in the back of my mind because people ask for opportunities and I don't forget. I've got a memory like an elephant. So when it was time to make the fight, I said, Jeff, Featherweight, Lindo, let's see if they're going to take it. Jeff said yes instantaneously, as well as Lindo. So that's why this fight was made, because we had a fighter who's got a heap of experience like Jeff Makakane, who's looking to resurrect his career, and then you've got a fighter who's on the upward trajectory. So great crossroads fights of youth versus experience, undefeated versus experience. So that's why this fight was made.
Let's speak to Lindo real quick. Lindo, 6-0, that's an absolutely amazing professional record. You know, and now you're going to be fighting a very, very widely experienced guy. How's your preparation leading up to the night on the 21st?
Okay, firstly I would like to say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's here. Thank you to you, Kevin. Thank you to sponsors. Thank you for having me in the show. The preparations have been good. You know, I fought Maduna last fight, of which Maduna was the guy. I mean, Jeff, he fought Maduna the last fight. You know, they fought all the way through, and I fought Maduna 1 second round knockout. You know, which was good. You know, Maduna was said to be very experienced as well. You know, but we took him out in 2. So, you know, preparations have been good. You know, I'm expecting a very good fight from Jeff, as I was with Maduna as well. You know. So I expect a good fight from Jeff. I think he's a good boxer, express boxer, you know. So I'm just expecting a good fight. I've been preparing good, you know, for the fight, and I'm ready.
Thank you so much. Jeff, your opponent speaks very highly of you. CEO, if you could please just give Jeff the mic. Your opponent speaks quite highly of you. I wonder if that means any pressure for you. But how do you see the fight playing out on the night?
First of all, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity you gave me. I came to the gym. I was just passing by. Then continued finishing the gym. I said, champ, help me out. I said, once, thank you. Thank you for everyone for coming here. I understand that Lindo Kuzwayo is talking good about me. It's fine. Let's do it, my champ. You've got nice amateur fights that you fought. So it is the game, my boy. Let's get it on.
All right, the man says, let's get it on. Let's have a face-off real quick, gentlemen, please.
Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then dead I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah. No need for the snoozing. Big whip outside, I'm cruising. Big stick inside, no losing. Better watch out for the snake and Judas is. Don't ask them who this is. I bet they know what I'm moving in. I bet I show it into a dim. How you hate and then lose again? How you hating my vibe?
Just to let you know, Jeff, great for you like to take the fight step by step. these guys need to try to climb like the ladder. You've got guys like you, experienced guys who can fight and have been there, done that. So it's an honor for these boys to hopefully get the experience for them to move on to bigger, better things. I just say, like, Lindo is an amazing athlete. Also, I walked in my gym, I saw this guy, I said, I can't stop watching him. He's electric, he's explosive. And actually, the last outing at Times Square Arena, when he walked out, the guy, like, he fought Maduna's shoes were a bit loose. And I said to myself, I swear, Linda's going to eat this guy out of his shoes. After the fourth round, he hit the guy, you won't believe it, he hit the guy so hard, he sprained his ankle, his knees are off, but they started like to take his shoes off. What I'm saying to you, Jeff, tie your shoelaces. I promise you, Linda, you're going to get in there, and I know you're going to bring the fight, but I promise you, when this kid hits guys, they buckle, their knees wobble. It's an experience you never seen. So I know you're coming to start your shoes, because when this kid hits, I promise you never meet like this.
Are you sure about that, to all people, you know you were once my coach, right? You told me some things. I'm still going to use it against your boy.
Biwa Bachenko, when he beat my one boy, I said, just I helped you in my gym, now he beat my boy, but it can't happen. You're a great fighter, he needs the experience. Lindo's honored like to be in like the ring with you, but guys like this don't come around every day. And don't want to overhype it, because guys say guys can punch. That's the worst thing like you want your boxer to believe. Lindo's got speed, he's got box, he's got IQ, he's got great feet, so going to be awesome. It's a great fight, this guys. So what an amazing event, Kevin. Good matchmaking, AB.
All right, let's give them a big round of applause. Who are going to be fighting for the co-main and the main event? First of all, the co-main event of the evening, a lightweight showdown between Kane Fourie and Sifiso Hlongwane. International from Botswana, Bagwasi. We're going to go straight to you. This is a very, very exciting fight. As a fight fan myself, I'm reeling already, because we're seeing a new Kane and we're seeing a new improved Sifiso. What's your take on this showdown?
Yeah, it's a terrific matchup. Obviously, Kane Fourie, you know, he's been reigning as #1 in Africa as a lightweight for a while now, and then you got opposite him Sifiso, who's come up from feather. He got a good win at lightweight. So I don't like to call it a crossroads matchup, because this is more than that. You've got two good fighters going at it for a co-main event, and you know, credit to Kane for taking a tough fight, and credit to Sifiso for taking a tough fight in the likes of Coach G and Kane. So it's a terrific matchup, and obviously Kane's looking to right the wrong, and Sifiso's looking to spoil the party. So a great matchup.
Going over to Kane's corner. Welcome, Kane. Once again, I'd like to speak to your coach, your trainer. Welcome, sir. Always good to have you on stage.
Thanks, coach.
What do you see in Kane right now that makes you believe that he's going to get the W on the night?
Look, we've put the last fight and the result behind us. We know where we went wrong. We've corrected all the little mistakes, and yeah, we're 100% confident and sure that we're going to get the W on the night.
I'd like to hear a little something from Kane. Kane, welcome. It's always good to have you here. Obviously, you guys have worked since the your last fight. This was a defeat, but you know, and I saw you after that. It meant a lot to you. But obviously, you're back, and so much, and it's great respect to you for that. How do you see the fight ending in the night?
No, first of all, hello everyone. Thanks for Kevin for putting me on again for the second show. Like Kevin said, it's a privilege to fight on this card, like it's TV, broadcasting, everything. So it's a privilege for the second time. Thanks, Kevin. And yeah, like I say, it's a new K9. I just after the last took a bit of a downhill, but everything works out. It should work out. So thanks for Safisa for taking the fight. I mean, there's nothing between us, bad, nothing. I'll follow him on Instagram back after the fight again. Yeah, like I say, I know Safisa knows me. We support each other a long time, so yeah, I just can't wait for all my fans. Just come on 21st of June and expect that out of the show.
Oh no, certainly we're looking forward to that. So, speaking to your opponent, Kane. You know, he speaks very highly of you. Obviously, you guys have followed each other. Are we going to see a friendship kumbaya on the night, or are we going to see some bangers?
First of all, hello to everyone. Before I say anything, this is the moment I've been waiting for my whole life, man.
Let's give him a big round of applause for that.
To the front like this, holding a mic like this. Thanks to Kevin and Abby. I hope every promoters are like this. When you complain and say, hey, the man is short, pick it up, they pick it up.
I think this deserves a bigger round of applause
again. Going to the fight, I want people to understand that the two coaches that I have, Shoni and Nico, I feel like we don't get credit with the team we have. Like these are my former teammates, but they've been building us. My team is going very big these days, you know. After they offered this fight, they reminded me something that if we're not taking this fight, and then why are we boxing? And I believe people must leave this thing of Kane lost the last fight. You know Kane, everyone. For me, it's still #1 in Africa. It's a big challenge for me. And doubters, people who think that Kane is just gonna knock me out first round. People who know me, you guys gonna be surprised. You're gonna be surprised, guys. When you see me from outside, it's easy to find me, but trust me, me and Kane know each other. I feel like we're gonna put up a good fight. Thank you again for the opportunity. Thanks, Kane.
Oh man, great words between you. Let's give a big round of applause. Gentlemen, let's face off real quick, please.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
Working, we serving the streets. Alright, you may take your seats. Thank you so much. We will have a few questions from the floor after we introduce the main event. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, for the main event of the evening, we have Boyd Allen versus Kagiso Bagwasi. Alright, Kevin, straight on over to you. You've worked with the both fighters very, very closely. What are we in for the main event?
An explosive matchup. I think fight of the night. Having worked with both fighters, worked with Boyd, not just in the previous the Storm tournament, you know, but I've known Boyd for a very long time. And Boyd is a true gentleman of the sport, you know. He's a leader, he leads his gym. He's phenomenal to work with. And I'll say that time and time and again. People can say what they want. It's a pleasure to work with Boyd Allen. It's an absolute pleasure, and he needs to be respected for what he's done in the MMA world and now on his trajectory in the boxing world. It's not easy, it's no easy feat doing what this man has done. The crossover let alone, but also what he's achieved as a fighter. It takes a lot to fight, so having done it in the MMA, in the cage, and now in the boxing ring, he's got my respect, but not because of his fighting abilities, just because of how he is as a human. I respect him. And opposite him, you got Kagiso Bagwasi. Easy to work with. You know, to make the fight there was no hesitation. He's a terrific fighter. We saw how he dismantled Creed Moyo, and he's no secret that he can bang and he can fight. But it's also no secret, so can Boyd Allen. And Boyd's a technician in there, and I know Boyd can sit on his punches and he can really do what he needs to do. He's a very strong fighter, and that's why to make this fight wasn't an issue. And it's our first title fight and just our second show, so it's an absolute honor for us to have the IBO All Africa title here. When I was in Saudi Arabia with my son, when I went to watch Fury and Usyk, I spoke to Ed Levine. I said, Ed, this is the plans. This is what we're going to do to resurrect the sport in South Africa. If we have an All Africa or Intercontinental or World title, would you back me? He said, all you need to do is send me the opponents and consider it done. And this is where we are. Boxing is about boxing is about relationships. This comes at a cost. People don't realize from a point of view, sanctioning fees, they cost a lot of money into the thousands of dollars. But this is what we do for the fighters, to create a platform to help them grow in the ranking. So this is a great fight for two African giants. You've got Boyd Allen from South Africa and Bagwasi from Botswana. This is the content and the viewership that I was talking about. So this is a great fight, and it's an absolute honor for us at Aquila Boxing Promotions to promote this fight. So thank you to both of you.
Let's go on over to Boyd Allen. Boyd, always an honor to have you on stage. This is not the first and the last time I announced you. I know the first one was MMA, and you are one of the hybrid boxers or hybrid martial artists in the country. So it's great to see you in MMA, doing your thing, raising your hand, getting the W, and now you're in boxing as well. You're doing absolutely amazing. What does this title fight mean to you at this stage in your career?
Firstly, thanks so much, KG, and thank you to Kevin and to all the sponsors, Tigger as well, Mark, Ashley, Rudy. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. And congratulations to the new CEO of Boxing SA. And guys, this is an awesome event, and we want to put on an awesome show. Thank you to my opponent, Kagiso from Botswana. I'm looking forward to the bout with him, and this title means everything to me. I've held multiple titles. I've had the WBA, I've had the EFC Featherweight title before. And this will be the second time I'm fighting for the IBO. I didn't win it in the first outing against Brandon Tace, and I'm looking to secure this and to take this title home and keep it here in South Africa. I think that I'm up against a formidable force, an explosive southpaw, but I'm looking to bring my A game, and I'm looking to put on a show for the crowd.
I know you always bring the show. Any fight predictions that you might have for us?
No fight predictions. You're gonna see an explosive fight, like Kevin said, and my hand will be raised at the end of the night. I truly believe that. I've worked hard for it, and there's nothing that can stand in my way.
Thank you so much, Boyd Allen. All right, moving over to Stephen Bagwasi. Stephen, thank you so much. Welcome. I know South Africa is not a strange land for you. You're a neighbor as well, but you are an undefeated neighbor, 6-0. And you're standing in front of Boyd Allen right now. He is a crowd favorite, absolutely amazing gentleman and a fighter. But how's your preparation been, and what's the feeling of being on such a big card on Aquila Boxing Promotions?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Aquila Boxing Promotion. I also want to say thank you to the champ, and also the boxers, the sponsors, and everyone here. Well, this is all I can say. I've been preparing for this fight ever since I got the news, or I will be fighting for a title fight. So I'm not going back home empty-handed. That's all I can say. I know I'm facing one of the great. It's not easy to come from MMA to boxing and become one of the greats. He has my respect for that, but in the ring, it's something else. So I'm not going home empty-handed.
Now you say you're not gonna go back to Botswana empty-handed. What has prepared you for this moment?
Well, look at this thing. It's some of the things that I want to get. So I'm not going back home empty-handed. I've done my homework. I worked hard. Now it's time to show the world that I'm in business.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kagiso Bagwasi from Botswana. Gentlemen, yes, our champ. Yes, let's face off, please. We'll face off with our CEO holding the belt. a few questions to the floor. We're going to ask you if you could please narrow your questions down to the fight and the fighters. All right, so a few questions from the crowd, please, or from the floor. Let's go straight to Wim.
I will start off with Boyd Allen. Boyd, I think James would agree. You are one of the hardest boxers to photograph because we never know when you're going to unleash. We stand and we hold. So if you could maybe just warn us before the fight.
I'll do my best. I think that being said, the art of boxing is to hit and not get hit, and that's my game plan.
And then finally, I just want to speak to Kane. You are coming off a sad loss. In fact, I spoke to somebody in your team, okay, after your last fight. I didn't even have the heart to actually post the photographs of your fight. If there's one man that has actually backed you from that loss, and you watch what happens on social media and where you are, that is the gentleman on your left, who is not only a champion in the ring, but a champion outside the ring, who actually told you it's nothing to lose, you're going to get back up. How much did it mean to you to have him as a guideline, how you're going to bounce back? What did that mean to you?
No, 100%. I mean, Kevin was the first man in the locker room after my loss. He talked to me. I didn't want to listen to anyone, I only listened to Kevin. The next morning, the first phone call was Kevin. The last night, in that same day, the night, messaged me again. Yeah, just like he told me, it's my biggest victory actually this loss. It was just work harder. He took me in to his home with his lovely wife. Did a training session with him. And I mean, yeah, just to see Kevin seeing something in me means a lot to me. It opened some stuff in my mind as well, just working harder. And yeah, like I said, Kevin was just the inspiration for me that time. I think I gave him the most. So yeah, thanks Kevin, appreciate it.
Can I just say something on that? And I think it's so important. The man sitting on his right is a true confidant for him, because Gert has a great belief in Kane. So the belief stems far from what I saw on the 16th of March when he fought Ngoma. Gert believes in Kane. And he's told me about Kane for a very long time. So now, when he had that loss, unfortunate loss, it can happen to all of us. We all know as fighters. Remember, I look at the fight, I look at boxing, not just from the boardroom table, like 97% of promoters will. I look at it from the corner. I try my best to put myself in the fighter's shoes, because they know each and every single fighter here who's climbed the ladder, who still needs to climb the ladder, has been where I've been, and I've been where they've been. We know what it's about from the corner. I know exactly what he was going through. So the calling was not to give him security to say, I'm here for you. It was genuine to say, listen, the phone's going to go quiet now. When you lose, the phone goes quiet, the pigeons take flight. But stay true to the ground. Listen to your trainer, the man next to you, who's got all the faith and belief in you. Listen to that man, give him every opportunity to make you a better product. 90% of fighters, when they lose, they blame, they point fingers, and they don't take accountability. That's the easiest thing to do. It was my trainer's fault, this happened, that happened. I said, blame nobody, you lost. Now we move forward. Today's another day, the sun's going to come up. I told him at night, I remember that conversation clearly. I said, Kane, the sun's going to come up tomorrow, and it's going to go down tomorrow, and so on and so forth. And this loss will be forgotten. That's how you come forward. And this is a prime example. I found myself, through controversy, on my ass at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It goes full circle, co-main event at Wembley. Don't let anybody tell you it cannot be done. I'm looking at it from the boardroom and from the corner, and I will always have the fighter's interest at heart.
Taking from SA Boxing Talk, I have a question for Kagiso Bagwasi. Obviously, last time in the welterweight division, you missed weight, and they've given you opportunity now in the super welterweight division. Are we confident this time that we're making the weight and that you'll be fighting for this belt?
Yeah. That one I'm confident. Like I said, it's coming home with me, so I'm making weight.
And just a quick one. Obviously, you got rid of Creed Moyo in one round in the last fight. Do you predict a knockout in this fight?
No. Even in that fight, the plan wasn't a knockout. It just came.
And Sean, a quick one, a follow-up with Boyd Allen. Obviously, Kagiso, you saw his last fight. You both won on the first show on Aquila Boxing Promotions. This time around, how difficult do you think the task will be?
Yeah, Kagiso's no joke. He's a good opponent with a good amateur background. I've done my homework, I've put in the work, and now it's time to shine. This is a press conference Tuesday, weigh-ins Friday. We'll make the weight, he'll make the weight, I can see it. And we're going to put in a good show for the crowd. And I think, like Kevin said, it's going to be fight of the night. And then onto his big one is Lawrence Okoli. Thank you.
Quick one for Kane Fourie as well, if I could. You and Boyd Allen have swapped places with the main events and the co-main events. Of course, you want to come back for redemption. A lot of people want to know about the new K9 and who he is. Do you have any sort of hints as to what's coming?
No hints. Just come on 21st of June. I'll show them. But the outcome will be the same, not the same as the last time. Win both for us. So yeah.
All right, awesome. And then obviously, just a follow-up question for opponent Sifiso. Obviously, Kane Fourie, you've not minced your words about what people think out there. But in your own rights, I mean, you're coming to make a statement here, aren't you?
Yeah. I've been listening to what happened to the last fight. After Kane lost, Kevin went to the room. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen.
Do you have a reply for that?
No, that's what. Yeah, to congratulate.
Right, thank you very much. And then just last from you, Kevin. Obviously, massive that you're getting the IBO out here and getting the belts on the line. It's a nice milestone for the promotion. Is it a nice milestone for the promotion to get the IBO All Africa out here?
Yeah, I think it's a good step, and it's a step in the right direction. I think there's many organizations, the IBO, IBF, WBA, WBC, and they all have an important role in the fighter's career. The IBO has been good to me. I defended my IBO world title 7 times from 2017 until 2021. So, you know, it's only fitting that I start our inaugural title fight, should I say, with the IBO. They've been very good to me. Everything I do is calculated and strategic, so I think those who've been there have been behind me. So this is just another thanks to our terrific sponsors. World Sports Betting have been absolutely phenomenal. Tigris Wealth, JCP Steel, HP, and an absolute honor to be backed by World Sports, our World of Champions Supersport. You know, to get broadcasters to back you shows the seriousness of their intent and the seriousness of our intent. So it's a great strategic partnership, and it's just an absolute honor. So yeah, absolutely fitting. I remember the All Africa belts. I remember the world title. So it's nostalgic for me, and yeah, an absolute honor. I'm excited to do this, and for me, there's no prouder or greater feeling seeing fighters get an opportunity. These are my colleagues, so seeing them get an opportunity is mad. It's crazy.
Thank you very much.
Before we introduce back our sponsors to take a big picture with our fighters and all the fighters, just one more last word from the CEO of Boxing South Africa, just to close off.
Well, top of mind must be the boxers. This is what we all want to go home with at the back of my mind. So I'm not going to spoil it. Thank you, Kevin. You literally are walking the talk. I've been counting how many times you've said this is about the boxers. This is where the conversation started, and this is where you are keeping it. When I was looking at the program and he said from 11:30 to 1, I thought we're going to make it like in an hour. This has been 1.5 hours dedicated to nobody else but the boxers and the business. This is what everybody wants. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, CEO of Boxing South Africa. Okay, could we please have all the sponsors on stage as well as all the boxers. Also the boxers and sponsors, please come on stage. Everyone on stage. 73 kilograms, and Boyd weighs in at 71.5 kilograms. And now Bagwasi plays so Bagwasi takes the scale. He weighs in at 72.5 kilograms. The fight is on. Thank you so much, boy. Thank you, Kaliso.